Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on The Young and the Restless, Sally supports Billy, Devon and Abby head off on honeymoon. And, spoiler, catches Abby's bouquet. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Billy enters the club and orders a scotch. He downs it and tells the bartender to keep them coming. Looking across the room, he spots Sally and walks over to sit with her. She asks, "How was the wedding?" Billy tells her that everyone was gushing about Abby's beautiful wedding dress. Sally explains she didn't go because she didn't want to run into Adam. Billy says Adam wasn't there. Sally also wasn't up for watching people explain vows. She sees that Billy is not okay. Billy says his mother is not all in when it comes to supporting her son. Billy explains that Jill gave him an ultimatum a few weeks ago. She was looking over his shoulder, expecting him to fail. Sally knows how much he cares about the company. Billy says his mother wanted him to fire Phyllis, which is ironic because she's the only one who believed in him. She wanted him to bring Lily back, and he did it, but it wasn't enough. Sally wonders if he could change her mind. Billy says she's sold the company to Victor. He's so damn angry at his mother's betrayal that he's done with her. He lost Chelsea because of Adam, and the company he loves because of Victor. But he won't let the Newmans see him feeling sorry for himself. He's going to pay for what he did to me. At the ranch house, Kyle tells Diane what she's saying makes no sense. She repeats that she's taken control of Glissade and is firing him. Kyle isn't buying it. Diane tells her son he made another bad decision. Victor sunk his claws into him to hurt Jack. Kyle says she's the one who hurt his dad. She says he's right, and I used Victor to do it. Jack joins the fray as Kyle sees that his mother has really outdone herself. She's right that he made a mistake by trusting the wrong people. He will never trust her again. Kyle storms away and Jack whispers to Diane, "Is that true?" Diane says Victor is giving her Glissade but made her fire Kyle. "I don't know if I can do this." Jack tells her, "They just have to keep going a little longer. I promise." Kyle pulls Victor aside and asks him to tell him his mother is lying. Victor confirms that he put her in charge at Glissade. Whether he's out or not is up to her. He tells Kyle he's playing with the big boys now. This world is cutthroat. Kyle guesses this was all about hurting his father. He tells Victor that Jack loves his family in a way he will never understand. Victor snarls, "Don't you talk to me about family. Let me tell you about your father. He almost killed the woman I love. He's getting off easy. He's sorry to have used Kyle. He's a good man, but this is the way the world works." Sharon opens her door to Nick and throws herself into his arms. She needs to know if Phyllis is going to be all right. Nick ushers her inside and says Phyllis was in an accident. Someone crossed into her lane, and she veered off the road and hit a tree. Sharon learns she's unconscious and sighs. She's still alive. "I didn't kill Phyllis." Nick frowns. "What are you saying?" Sharon gasps. "Nick, He tells her to breathe and to take her time. She says she blacked out in her car earlier. When she came to, she was on the side of the road. When she got out, she saw that she was close to home. She saw flames, and she saw him and Chance trying to revive Phyllis. He asked why she didn't call out. Sharon says she's done enough already. I was the one who ran Phyllis off the road." Nick doesn't believe it. He can't imagine her ever taking anything that far. Sharon blurts that what she's done is unimaginable. She had to shut Phyllis up. She had to do whatever it took to stop her. Nick says if she blacked out, she can't be sure what happened. Does she remember running Phyllis off the road? Sharon says no, but her car wouldn't start. Nick says there's not proof that she had anything to do with tonight. She'd never go to these lengths. It's not who she is. No one believes Phyllis' accusations. It's crazy. Sharon shakes her head and says it's the truth. "I killed Heather. She's dead because of me." She sobs, "I can't live like this anymore." Nick holds her. At the ranch, Kyle tells Claire he's going to explode. She says, "Let's get out of here." They leave and Jack follows. Abby and Devon call for everyone's attention and thank everyone for coming, as well as thanking Victor and Nikki for hosting. Since it's Abby's birthday, Devon thanks Ashley and Victor for bringing her into the world. He also thanks his sister and mom for making the trip there. He offers a toast to his new bride, and they kiss. Abby won't let him have the last word and wants to raise a glass to her mom, whose strength has taught her what it means to love someone. Cheers. Abby announces she's going to change, and Devon says they have a plane to catch. Nate tells Audra they're taking Devon's jet to Fiji. Nikki asks Victor if there are any updates on Phyllis. He says, not yet. At Sharon's place, Nick thinks she's shaken up and she's saying things she doesn't mean. Sharon asks if he really thinks it's a coincidence that she and Phyllis went off the road at the same time. Nick says if she was involved, it wasn't on purpose. Sharon says he wants to believe that, but she knows the truth. I know, I can prove it to you. She tells him that they should call Chance so she can make this an official confession. Nick wants to hold off on that and offers tea. Sharon doesn't want tea, her doctor, or to go to Sedona. She just needs to tell the truth. Will you please let me do that? Nick says, "Ok." Sharon tells Nick this all started with her thinking about Cassie. The memories were more powerful than usual. The work she was doing at Cassidy first became harder and weighed on her. Then there was Lucy and Fate's accident, which brought back the memories and pain of that night. It manifested itself as anger toward Daniel and his family. She started to see Cameron. Nick remembers she told him about nightmares. Sharon says they were full-blown hallucinations. He was right there in the room with her. She could smell him and feel his breath. He was always wearing the bloody shirt from the night she stabbed him. She saw Cassie too, who was like an angel from heaven. But she stopped coming, and she was left with Cameron whispering in her ear, telling her to avenge their daughter's death. Sharon says she used Cameron to twist herself into believing if she heard another person in Cassie's name, it would make things better. That's when I came up with a plan to kill Daniel. At the ranch, Nate approaches Lily and says her brother's happy, but her not so much. What's up? Devon joins them, and Nate tells him he's got Winters covered while he hits the beach. Devon asks Lily if she's okay. She says she's fine and urges her brother to focus on his bride. They hug. Abby reappears to throw her bouquet. She does, and it lands in Audra's hands. She tells Nate, don't get any ideas. At the club, Billy continues to talk to Sally about his mother turning his back on him. He says she loves that company. Sally asks if Jill gave him a reason. Billy says it was about his incompetence and her health. He wouldn't be surprised if Victor threatened to go public with her heart condition. Sally's sorry she's sick. Billy says she doesn't want anyone to know. Sally thinks it's clear he still loves her. That's why what she did hurts so much. At Sharon's place, she tells Nick she was prepared to commit premeditated murder and kill another human being. She planned it all out so she wouldn't get caught. She took poison to Daniel's apartment, broke in and put it in his whiskey bottle. Nick asks if the bottle is still there. Sharon says she poured it out. She couldn't go through with it. She covered her tracks. And then Heather came home. She knew she was there to cause trouble. Why didn't she just let me go? She tried to push past her, but they struggled and Heather fell. She blacked out, and when she woke up she was in Daniel's apartment, and Heather was on the floor in a puddle of blood. She should have called someone, but instead she listened to Cameron, who had her wrap the body in a sheet, drag her to her car, and dump her body in the river. She used her phone to text her family. Sharon cries that she wishes she'd gone to Sedona. She prayed the body would never be found. When it was, she freaked out. Cameron was always there, reminding her of everything she had to lose. They agreed someone else had to take the fall. That's when she came up with the plan to frame Daniel. I couldn't bring myself to kill him to get justice for Cassie, but I could still make him pay. She describes planting the towels and phone and creating the unsent text to Paul. Phyllis was right. It was all her. Everything she said was true. Kyle and Claire arrive at the Abbott house. She notes he didn't say anything in the car. Do you not want to talk about it? Kyle wants to check on Harrison and asks Claire to pour them a drink. She's doing so when Jack comes in with Diane. Claire is puzzled when Diane helps Jack remove his coat. What's going on? Kyle comes downstairs and asks, what the hell is she doing here? At the ranch, Nikki tells Victor that was a very nice wedding. There's been no word from Nick, but they're sure Phyllis is tough and will survive. Nikki thanks her husband for the house and her new position at Chancellor as CEO. Happy wife, happy life. They embrace. At the club, Billy tells Sally that Victor needs to be held accountable for once. He needs to be taken down a few pegs. Sally suggests they get him some food. Billy's not hungry. He wants another drink. Sally doesn't think that's a good idea. He'll regret it in the morning. Trust me. Billy does trust her. She's a good soul. He thinks maybe it's not so bad she lost touch with her parents at a young age. At some point they let you down. At the Abbott mansion, Jack asks Claire to give him and Diane a moment alone with their son. Kyle stops Claire from leaving the room and rants about what his mother did. Jack tells him to listen to them. Kyle's not interested in finding out what they're up to. Diane tells him to stop. It was all an act. Your father and I aren't really at war with each other. We did it to save you, Kyle. At Sharon's place, she cries that Nick always did whatever it took to protect her. He believed that she was a good person with a good heart. She betrayed that trust. Even now he's treating her gently, knowing what she's done. I'm sorry. Sorry to put this on you. But the guilt inside me became too much to bear. She was willing to kill for one of her kids, so how did she think another mother would sit back and let her harm one of hers? Phyllis figured out what she did, and now that may cost her her life. If you and Chance hadn't gotten there when you did, Phyllis would have burned to death in her car. She asks, "Tell me, Nick, is it time to call Chance now?" Next on The Young and the Restless, Victor makes an impressive addition to his empire. Jack and Diane are busted, and Sharon is backed into a corner.